In his book, The Hero's Journey, Christopher Vogler takes some classical mythical concepts and breaks them down in a way that makes them useful tools for modern screenwriters in particular, but storytellers today in general. These concepts are, of course, the hero's journey of Joseph Campbell and the archetypes of the human personality of Carl Jung. Here's his take on archetypes.
Per Vogler, as soon as you enter the world of fairy tales and myths, you become aware of recurring character types and relationships. In describing these common character types, symbols, and relationships, the Swiss psychologist Carl G. Jung employed the term archetypes, meaning ancient patterns of personality that are the shared heritage of the human race. In other words, the archetypes represent psychological traits we all share. Story is one method we use to bring these traits into the light and examine them, and through that process to get to know ourselves. For Jung, fairy tales and myths are like the dreams of an entire culture springing from the collective unconscious. As dreams, story and myth help us to gain perspective on our lives as individuals, as a society, and as a species. They help us to find meaning, to find truth, to find hope. But what does this mean for writers? Per Vogler, if you grasp the function of the archetype which a particular character is expressing, it can help you determine if the character is pulling her full weight in the story. Recognizing a character's archetypal function in a scene can help you get the most out of that character, particularly from the character's interactions with others, since the archetypes are concrete representations of abstract psychological functions that play off of and against each other within the human personality. Storytellers instinctively choose characters and relationships that resonate to the energy of the archetypes, to create dramatic experiences that are recognizable to everyone. So, what does this mean? Do we just create a character to fit each archetype, plug them into the beats of the hero's journey, and we're done? We could do that, and no doubt more than one writer has made the attempt, but as you might expect, this approach tends to lead to formulaic, wooden, or outright boring stories. When I first began working with these ideas, I thought of an archetype as a fixed role which a character would play exclusively throughout a story. However, as I worked with fairy tale motifs as a story consultant for Disney Animation, I encountered another way of looking at the archetypes, not as rigid character roles, but as functions performed temporarily by characters to achieve certain effects in a story. So we don't just choose one character to be the hero, another to be the mentor, one to be the shadow, another to be the trickster, etc. Instead, what archetypal role each character plays is determined by the situation he or she is in and the other characters that they interact with. In The Empire Strikes Back, for instance, when we first meet Yoda, he appears as the embodiment of our focus today, the trickster archetype, making a fool of young Luke Skywalker. But Yoda soon morphs into the mentor archetype as he trains Luke in the ways of the Jedi. In stories that feature such characters as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Bruce Banner and the Hulk, the unnamed narrator and Tyler Durden, or the tragically broken Norman Bates, the hero, the shadow, and the shapeshifter archetype all share the same body, occasionally all at the same time. The archetypes can be thought of as masks worn by the characters temporarily as they are needed to advance the story. So we can think of archetypes as temporary roles characters play. As writers, we might approach scene writing with this question in mind. What archetype is each character expressing in this scene? In Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Hagrid first appears flying the banner of the Herald archetype.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
Bringing Harry the news that he's a wizard and thrusting him out of his status quo world and into the fantastical story world. But from that point on, Hagrid takes on the archetypal roles of ally and occasional mentor to Harry and his friends. Harry Potter has numerous mentors throughout the 7-book series, but in Book 5, he expresses the mentor archetype himself when he becomes the trainer of Dumbledore's army. He also expresses the trickster archetype in every book.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Often in his interactions with Snape, but we'll get to that. Snape acts as threshold guardian, mentor, shadow, or ally to Harry, depending on where and when they interact. The ultimate shapeshifter. Another way to look at the classic archetypes is that they are facets of the hero's or the writer's personality. The other characters represent possibilities for the hero, for good or ill. A hero sometimes proceeds through the story gathering and incorporating the energy and traits of the other characters. She learns from the other characters, fusing them into a complete human being who has picked up something from everyone she has met along the way. The reason Darth Vader makes a compelling antagonist for Luke Skywalker, Voldemort for Harry Potter, Belloc for Indiana Jones, isn't the differences between hero and villain, but their similarities. This is what the shadow means. The villain expresses the part of the hero's personality that the hero represses. Likewise, every other character the hero interacts with will play some archetypal role within the context of the interaction, expressing some facet of the hero that the hero can't express himself, and so influence the hero to become a more well-rounded human being. This is what the idea of a character arc typically means. The archetypes can also be regarded as personified symbols of various human qualities. Like the major arcana cards of the tarot, they stand for the aspects of a complete human personality. But how do these character archetypes tie into the story as a whole? Stories can be read as metaphors for the general human condition, with characters who embody universal archetypal qualities comprehensible to the group as well as the individual. If stories are how we come to understand ourselves and find or create meaning for our lives, archetypes are one helpful guide to clarifying that meaning. When thinking about archetypes as writers, Vogler would have us consider this. 2 questions are helpful for a writer trying to identify the nature of an archetype. 1. What psychological function or part of the personality does it represent? And 2. What is its dramatic function in a story?
And those are character archetypes. What do you think of Vogler's ideas on that? What do you think of archetypes in general? Does this help you with characterization? Does it help you think through the roles that your characters might play in story? Leave your comments down below. Leave your questions and all of that down in the comments section. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, good luck and good writing. Peace.